Here, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you great. So let's just go into the quick, you were telling me earlier about the robocalls and how that works, and then why you decided to do these polls, and then let's get right into the polls. We got about...
I want to say really quick, I can't hear Jordan at all. So.
No, yeah, testing. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. Excellent. I can hear you just fine. So I want to touch base on the terminology of robocall. Basically, it's kind of like a bad word that was put out by the FCC when they decided to ban people from businesses from calling consumers. They wanted to give it a negative connotation, but guess who was left with the ability to call whoever they want, whenever they wanted? Politicians and government. The caveat to that is that it allows us to still run political polls uninterrupted for the time being. So that is sort of the long and the short of it. We actually call it voice broadcasting. The actual terminology that's preferred. Robocalls was sort of put out to deceive the public and give it a bad name. Now, which poll did you guys have up? I basically, my partner does political polling, and I was listening to the show the other morning, and I stopped and I called him and I said, does anybody ever run a unbiased poll with real data, with real stats, unbiased statistics? And he said no. They bring him the data and they bring him the questions, and he just is in charge of running it. At which point I decided to contact you guys and let you know that I have the ability to do this. I went immediately into my office and ran my first poll, which I sent you, and I think that's the infographic that you have.
Yeah, that was on the 11th, I believe. Yeah, so I have two questions here. One is, you consider yourself a Republican, Democrat, or Independent? And that was run on the 11th, and you've got 43% Republican, 35% Democrat, 22% Independent, which most of these people kind of fall into the Democratic territory, and 1% other, with a total of 156. Is that the total number of people that answered?
For that particular one, just so you know, that most political polls, Republicans skew them, and they skew them a little bit by organizing the questions in a fashion that leads somebody to a question and answer. Democrats tend to take data of somebody who may have worked at a Democratic polling place or volunteered their time at a Democratic headquarters and ask them how they feel about somebody like Donald Trump. How do you think the answer is going to come out when that takes place?
Right, exactly. Well, and here's the results when you say the upcoming election. Who do you plan to vote for? And this is the question that they hear, right? Do you support Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, or a third-party candidate? Are you undecided? And what you came out with on the 11th was, and if you guys can't pull it up in there, you can come to the overhead camera here to show people the results. You got 50% for Donald Trump, 30% for Hillary Clinton, 5% for third party, and 15% undecided.
Exactly.
And then if you go to the third one, the last one, it says, what is the most important issue for you in the upcoming election? The winner got economy, that's number one, 35%, healthcare, 5%, immigration was 24%, foreign affairs, 9%, and environment, 27%. So most people are caring about the economy. That's a big thing for them. And that's one of the key things that Trump is always talking about, how jobs are being sent overseas. We need to bring more jobs back here. And the fact that Obamacare is a complete and total failure screws up a lot of these small businesses, and a lot of jobs go other places because they can't pay for that. Costs a lot of money to have that. So we're losing jobs, and that's why people want to have a strong economy, and that's why Trump's been very popular and strong in that area.
One tidbit of information that you might find funny, when you run a Democratic-leaning poll, a large number of them, just like it is here, are very concerned with the economy, which I find to be funny, because why would they be voting for a Democrat? That makes no sense. But then again, it's the uninformed masses. They don't know what they're doing.
Well, and they think they're going to get some break from Hillary Clinton, even though it's admitted in her tax plan that everybody's taxes are going up. And Donald Trump's tax plan across the board, it's even independent people have shown, independent studies have shown that you're going to have lower taxes. You're going to have more money back in your pocket. And that's a big point I think he needs to push home. And he did it in the last debate. He said, she's going to raise your taxes, folks. I'm going to lower your taxes. And she goes, well, just for the millionaires. Everybody's going to get a tax break.
I'm going to raise taxes on the middle class.
Yeah, she even admits she's going to raise taxes on the middle class. Now, you did another poll on the 19th. We've got this one here. And actually, Trump has gone up in your poll from
the 11th to the
50% to 55%, and Hillary's gone down 3% from 30% to 27%. And it looks like the undecideds have gone down just a bit, and the others have stayed. So if you look at the two polls that you've run independently, Donald Trump is going up 5%.
Yeah, this was 10 a.m. Pacific time this morning. I ran this. I ran another one around 1:30, but the data is really the same. You can see that I attribute this to news that is taking place, breaking news. Maybe it's WikiLeaks, although it's silenced by the mainstream media. You know, whatever it is, she's losing her fan base, or more people are deciding they're waking up, so to say. But this was run today, so you can see a little bit of shift. I want to let you guys know and preface that this data is homogenous, meaning it's blindly sorted and randomized amongst state, race, age, gender, employment, all the factors. We don't select it is purposely not selected by voter registration. So it is homogenous data. This is as true as I feel we can get. And most, like I said, most polls are a few hundred people, whereas this is several thousand run in total, and then whoever decides to answer. So many of these polls that you're hearing about in the news, it's 30, 40 people that answered a phone out of a few hundred.